just had to get in and do that. I'm totally honored to be allowed to introduce Judy Baca, who I have huge admiration for. Judy Baca's life work has influenced countless people. Her art reflects her deep-seated commitment to social justice, and in the process of its creation, she has empowered individuals and communities throughout California and beyond. Her work, and the work of her co-authors, has employed narrative in the grand tradition of great muralists from Giotto and Diego Rivera and David Alvarez Siqueiros, and she has built upon this tradition a new form of practice that actively incorporates the voice of the people in the development of this narrative. For over 40 years, Baca has catalyzed communities and inspired and mentored countless young artists and at-risk youth. Every project involves community members and artists in research and probing conversations to uncover the stories that each artwork reflects. Through this process, she has created a vast body of work, including the 2,700-foot-long Great Wall of Los Angeles project and the Neighborhood Pride Mural Program, coordinated by SPARK, the Social and Public Art Resource Center, an incredible organization that I've followed for many years. It's an organization she founded in 1976. A tough and single-minded advocate, she has inspired and shared her passion with others, and through her art and her 20-plus years of teaching in the University of California system, she has helped to redefine the critical role that artists can play in our changing society. Please help me in congratulating this year's PAN Award recipient, Judy Baca.
He's reaching in a box down here. Well, I want to say thank you to the PAN Network and to all of you who work in this field every day to make it possible for us to put the public back into the art. Working on both sides of the fence, it's a very difficult field to work in. I know that it's patience beyond belief to work with politicians and sometimes to struggle with our public. But thank you for the work you do, and for this award today. I'm greatly honored to receive it from my peers. And I am going to talk a bit about a number of projects that have been the formation of the sensibilities and the ideas I have about how to make public art. I thought carefully about the ideas that I would present today. And I began to thinking and to reflect a bit on how I would describe myself to you, about what I do and why. I'm beginning to believe I'm a political landscape painter. I wasn't sure what to call myself for a long time. I've been called many names, from a street artist to a gang member to an urban artist, many terms to describe me over the years. But I think I've always known the value of art as a tool for transformation, both personal and political. What I've had to learn, though, through being attentive to my own curiosities and artistic focus, is that I choose often to use landscape as my method of recording memories and stories in my paintings, murals, and monuments. I've been learning to listen to the land, to hear the story hidden there. It is this concept that the land has memory, that learning to put an ear to the ground, to listen and to understand the spirit of place that has been the basis for my art making for the last 40 years. This sometimes tends to have political implications, as the land is the very site of contentious struggles and often becomes defined by territories and borders, while it remains a site of public memory, particularly for those of us from the Southwest. It is from this idea that memory is somehow embedded in place, which reaches across so many cultures, that I derive this mountain as a conceptual model of an excavation of memory in a public work. It's a reminder that history doesn't begin when you arrive. We as humans feel the need to stand where important historical events occurred, to understand the event, to feel the story. It's common across many cultures, and in my city of nations, Los Angeles, we see it evident as we pass through the shifting landscapes and cultural markers of our city. Well, just for a moment, I pause on this and say that the inherent nature of a site might be best exemplified by Guadalupe, California, where I work with the farm workers to talk about the issues for the campesinos of the region. This is a valley formed by a glacier. The glacier created one of the most fertile places in the world. The topography of the site is the fact that it is now filled with agricultural fields. The spirit of the site has to do with everything that occurred there. The people who lived there, the events that occurred, the creatures, the animals, all life. The current enactments is perhaps the shopping mall that is being formed and put over a burial site. This is the point at which artists are asked to enter. What does the artist see on the site is last, and then of course our transformations. But in the process, all of these layers of meaning must be considered to make a public artwork that really excavates public memory. This interest in the land's memory and for telling the stories of the people took me to contested gang territories of East Los Angeles. It was in the barrios of Los Angeles that I became known as the Mural Lady, a title I was uneasy with as a 20-year-old. A mural person was fine, but I wasn't sure I wanted to be a lady. Negotiating between warring neighborhoods, I formed my first mural teams in a city that spoke 129 different languages. You see me there on the scaffolding looking a bit like Joan Baez in 1970. It took me to the agricultural fields of California where Mexican immigrants labored to work on the issues of farm workers, face and pesticides and proper facilities for those workers. Here I'm on the broccoli machine. To the urban gridlock of Los Angeles freeways to celebrate women's first-time participation in the marathon in the 1984 Olympics. And around the globe, most recently to El Salvador, this was just taken a few weeks ago, where I went to work on reconciliation in a divided post-war country. There I worked with over 100 artists to produce the first public artworks on domestic violence against women, which is skyrocketing, on the environment, and the rights of children to choose not to work in the coffee fields. And it is how I came to spend half of my life